Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, wherever you are at. How are you doing? How is the going? My name is Anna Mugeshe. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the channel of hope. I'm so much excited because of the series that have been taking place in this channel. If you haven't watched, these are the series about relationships and marriages, and this is where my passion is. I hope you're inspired. Have you watched? Haven't you watched? Have you subscribed? If you haven't subscribed to this channel, you're new in this channel, you are at home, welcome. Feel appreciated. Do subscribe and watch all the series on this topic that I love most, on this inspiring, awarding, and encouraging series of videos. And today I'm so much excited to bring another series on relationship and marriage. And today I want to talk about conflicts in relationships, conflicts in marriages. I know you don't want to miss this. You're heading there, you're already in it, you are in a relationship. This is the place to be. You love such challenging topics. You love such topics, encouraging and inspiring. What are you waiting for? Do subscribe and welcome to the video of today. My name once again is Anna Mugeshe, and let's do it. Yes, you had it well. Without any further ado, let's go direct to the topic of today, whereby we are talking about conflicts in marriages, conflicts in relationships. And I am sure that you know them. You know the main ones, and you know that, like I said in the previous video, today is on 6, the video is on, which is talking about the bed of roses and how to make roses on the bed. I started and introduced the video by saying, if you haven't watched, please do watch. I started by saying that every smiling couple does not just smile, it smiles all the way from where they started having the disagreements and agreements, disagreeing to agree. And so those couples who are just smiling have gone through trials and temptations, and they are able to overcome. They have been through challenges. What's that? I know you don't want to miss this. I hope you have subscribed, and let me talk about the topic of today, whereby we are talking about conflict in relationship and conflict in marriages. My name is Anna Mugeshe once again. Thank you so much. If you are watching, please do watch to the end. And in case you want to talk about it, you're looking for someone that you can lean on, you can have a shoulder to lean on. Anna Mugeshe is a counselor, and I can do it, and I will do it. All you need to do is SMS to the number that you're going to get on the channel, and I will get back to you. Oh yes, I want to introduce this topic about conflicts. Remember, the basis of my topic and the series that I have been having is because this is the month when I celebrate my 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 marriage. This year, December, I mean not December, this month of April, I will be celebrating my 15th year in marriage. So you can see I have a bit of experience. And when I am talking about this, I talk out of experience. It will be my 15th year. It's not been a bed of roses, yes. Conflicts have been there, yes. But I have learned through experiences on how to make these roses, and that is why this month it has been the series on relationships and marriages. So let me introduce this topic about conflicts and say that I like calling it fair fighting. Fair fighting because there is no win-win. There is no lose-lose. There's no one who is supposed to win. There's no one who is supposed to lose, because you are in this together. Yes, fair fighting. Why is it important to have these conflicts? Why is it important to have these disagreements, quarrels, arguments, and all that? It is because it brings understanding. Without conflict, without having arguments, without having quarrels, without disagreeing, you may not understand your spouse, you may not understand your partner. And I want to record this, to put this on record. Remember, I'm using the book of Marriage and Family Matters from Ambrose. Ambrose, I'm still selling your book online. And I want to talk about the roles for a husband and the roles for a wife, which will come later. That a husband is supposed to be the keeper, a wife is supposed to be the builder of the house. A husband is supposed to be the family priest. A husband is supposed to be the protector. He is supposed to be the prophet. The basis is also biblically a family provider, the husband. When the husband provides for the family, what is the work of a wife? A wife is supposed to preserve the resources. Now you know. The husband provides, the wife preserves the resources. The wife is the mother and the teacher in that house. The wife is the ideal beauty. When I talk about the ideal beauty, I talk about the beauty in the book of Peter, 1 Peter in the Bible, chapter 3, verse 4. The wife is supposed to be the home manager. We are the people who are supposed to be managing our homes. The Bible says that a foolish woman destroys her home with her own hands. So those are some of the things, the roles that bring conflicts. We have conflict because we have forgotten about our roles in our houses. What is the role of a wife? What is the role of a husband? What is the role of a woman in this relationship? What is the role of a husband in this, or a partner in this relationship? I know that roles have changed, especially when we talk about the provision and all that, but those roles remains. Whether they are shifted or they are not shifted, the roles remain. I have started by talking about the spousal roles and the relations, the roles in the partnership, because this is the source. I can say that again. This is the source of most of the conflicts in marriages. This is the source of most of the conflicts in relationships, because we forgot about our roles as women. We forgot about our roles as men, and then that brings the source of conflicts. And I started by saying, a man is supposed to be the ideal lover. Do the ideal love exist? Yes, it exists. The ideal love is whereby you are with a partner who truly loves you. So if there is no love and the love is not truthful, then that is the beginning of the conflicts in a relationship. So if you're not genuine in your relationship, the genuine and the honest feelings and emotions that I talked about in the previous video, go back and watch it. Then that becomes the source of conflict. Somebody asked me whether there is ideal love. It does exist. It has this consummate love. A partner that you have so much in common. You share so much in common. The viewpoints and values in life you share so much. And you know, like I had said in a previous video sometimes back, still in this channel, about the series I had done about relationships, I also talked about one thing that brought you into this relationship, one thing that brought you into this duo partnership that you are living in is because of love. Love led into agreement, and you became together and you became the couple. If this love has some question marks, then this brings a source of conflict between the two of you. And like I said, it is a fair fighting. You need to fight for each other. You need to fight for this relationship. About those spousal roles, the roles of each and every part of you, should not be shifted. And where they are shifted, there should be an agreement. Now, for example, we've said that a man is a provider. Assume that because of the season that you've been in, you shift and you become the provider. Those roles should not change. You are also supposed to guard those resources or to preserve these resources. So let me come direct to the conflicts themselves. Please do comment, write a comment on the comment section, and let me know what you think is the main source of conflicts in a marriage or in a relationship. Whether you're in it or not, what is the main source of conflicts in our relationships? Remember, I said they're fair fighting. They're very important because they bring about understanding. The common conflicts that we have in our relationships and in our marriages, which ones are they? And which one will carry all of them? So I am going to list them. Let me take them. I have prepared them somewhere. Yes, I have prepared them somewhere, and let me read them for you. These are the common. Drop me a comment and let me know which ones you think are the most common to your relationship and to the way you're working in your relationship and your marriage. Number one, we have violent behaviors of husbands. That is a common conflict. Violent behaviors of husbands. Nowadays, we even have violent women. Lack of cooperation in the family will cause a conflict. Now, conflict is when you disagree. You totally disagree. Your point of view is very different from that one of your partner. And let me note it and make it clear that there is no point of view that is wrong and that is right. Because remember, we are unique beings. None of you is the same as the other. If you have children, it's just like these two fingers. These fingers do not look alike. And none of the fingers look like the other. So you are a unique being. And the Bible says that we all have weaknesses. No one is perfect. And once we don't realize and acknowledge that no one is perfect, then conflicts start building up. The minute we realize and acknowledge that none of us is perfect, your partner is not perfect, it's only God who is perfect. All of us have weaknesses. Once you acknowledge that, then the conflicts will come and will be resolved amicably. So lack of cooperation in the family is another conflict. Inability to spend enough time together, I call it quality time between the two of you, is another source of conflict. Issues related to children and other families, in-laws, etc., is another conflict, or one thing that will bring about conflict in a relationship. Lack of effective communication, I like calling it poor communication. Financial problems will bring about lack of effective poor communication, financial problems, personality types, defensives, men are doers, women feel. This is what I'm talking about, the common conflicts in marriage. Money is the most common source of conflict between couples. Money is the most common source of conflict between couples. It can also cripple communication between couples. Now, I've given you several common conflicts in. If you didn't get them, you can just not SMS me. You can comment, you can write a comment and let me know whether I can list them for you. But by now, if you're still here, you know those conflicts and the one which is the main. Now, among all those common conflicts in relationships and marriage, and even in family matters, which is the main one? I've said money can cause poor communication. But trust me, when all these conflicts come, the main disagreement or the main quarrel will be raised through the word of mouth. So communication will start. You do not have time for me. You do not do anything. You do not provide for my family. I told you this and that. I told you not to stop misusing that money. I told you not to do this. You did not listen to me. So the main and the backbone of conflicts is communication. Yes, they are not met. Yes, he has not done. Yes, she has not done. Yes, she has done. Yes, he has done. How do you communicate this conflict? The aftermath is what matters. How do you communicate these shortcomings in your relationship? So I narrowed it down to communication being the main source of conflict. And there are different patterns of communication that will bring about conflicts. A conflict on top of a conflict. Of course, there's already a problem with money, but your communication now makes it even worse. How you communicate about how your spouse or your partner uses the money matters a lot. How you resolve this conflict. So you realize that communication is a part of the conflict in a relationship. And then communication also brings more conflicts amongst the conflicts that are already appearing or challenging your relationship. So I came up with some negative communication patterns that I got from somewhere online that will bring more conflicts. And through this negative communication, I will put the positive on how we are supposed to resolve this conflict in a relationship. I think I'm going to cut this topic into two. And number one, avoiding conflicts. There are people in that relation, there are most people or individuals who will choose peace. Yes, he did this. I got annoyed. I did not like it. He was so rude. She was so rude. She said this. She did this. And I was not happy about it. But since I know if I talk about it, it's going to bring a lot of disagreement, I choose peace. So I will not talk about it and you avoid the conflict. Already there is a friction between the two of you, but you've decided not to resolve it. You've decided not to talk about it. And so you keep it. And as you continue keeping it, another conflict comes on top of that one. And you still decide to choose peace. So you avoid resolving the conflict. You avoid resolving the problem because you know it will bring the conflict. Now this brings a lot of tension. So you pile the first one, you pile the second one, the third one, and then you have a layer of conflicts that are unresolved. So by the time you are trying to resolve them, you are full up to here. Guys, this is where you hear somebody got so mad and decided to kill someone. And when you hear that a man took a knife and stabbed a woman, 1, 2, 3, 24 knives. This is where the bubble bursts. And then when the bubble bursts, it was so hot. So the only way to relieve is to stab someone. The only way to relieve is to beat someone. The only way to do it is to kill yourself. Just because you decided to choose peace and you decided to avoid conflicts. Instead of talking about it, avoiding conflicts cause more stress. It is much healthier to address and resolve the conflict. So number one, avoiding conflict will bring the conflict. Resolve it once and for all. The other communication pattern that is going to help you resolve some of these conflicts is by not being defensive. Being defensive will cause more conflicts. Let's put it, for example, that you're talking about the money issues. Yes, I told you I'll spend this money like this. You did not listen to me, so there's nothing wrong that I did. You're already defending yourself. I asked you to give me this money, you never gave me. So I decided to do it. I decided to take it. I told you your mother, I told you your father, I told you my sisters, I told you everything. These are the other family matters. So I decided to do it. So when resolving conflicts, couples should address their partner's complaints objectively. When resolving conflicts, couples should address their partners objectively. Don't call me a complainer. Be objective with a willing heart to understand my point of view. Don't be defensive. Even if you know that you are not the wrong one, do not be defensive. Just listen and hear where it will take you. And resolve this conflict objectively, not subjectively. Do not subject me into me being the problem. It is a conflict that I'm raising. We need to discuss it. Please don't be defensive. Denying responsibility may seem to alleviate stress, but it creates long-term problems. This is where we normally find ourselves that you will choose peace. So I said sorry. While I'm left hurting, I know I was wrong. And I forced you to tell me sorry. And you alleviate the stress, but you create more stress. Because you know you are wrong, you refuse the responsibility, you defend yourself, and you deny any wrong. So I am the one who is always wrong. That is what I'm talking about. Avoid being defensive. Don't be right. Don't try to always be the right. Remember, I have said that we are all unique beings. And we all have weaknesses. And we all look at things in different perspectives. So when you start telling me that my way of thinking is right, your way of thinking is wrong, you should look at it like this. We shall never agree. Remember, I said it is fair fighting. We should always fair fight. No one should win, no one should lose. By the end of the day, solving the conflict should bring what? Oh, somebody's at the gate. You disagree to agree, and you leave yourself at the level. Never compete with your partner. Never compete with your spouse. This will also, and I say categorically, bring so much conflict. And let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong like living in a relationship where no conflict is resolved. So I am talking about always defensive people deny anything wrong. Now, I brought this topic because it is the topic that I want to talk to a couples seminar that I'm doing, and I will be talking about this. And because I may not be able to record it because of rights of some people may not want to be seen here, so I decided why not talk about it as I talk about these couples, because I know it will help us resolve conflicts. So there are a lot that I want to talk about. There are so many conflicts that I want to talk about and how to resolve them, and this will appear in the next video. So this is part 1 of conflict in relationships and in marriages. Thank you so much for joining me. Tune in to the next video. It will also be talking about part 2 about conflicts and resolving conflicts in a marriage. My name is Anna Mogeshe. Thank you so much for watching up to this. I hope you have subscribed. Tune in to the next video, and may God bless you. May God bless your relationship. Thank you so much. God bless.